Rain hammers the pavement like bullets. Neria's arms scream as she shoves the wheelbarrow through the emergency room doors, metal wheels shrieking against polished tile. The boy inside, Luca, 8 years old, glasses cracked, red shirt soaked through, doesn't move. His chest rises. Falls. Barely. Help. Her voice cracks. Somebody help him. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead. A nurse sprints toward them, shoes squeaking. Behind Neria, tires screech in the parking lot. She doesn't turn around. She knows that sound. Black sedan, tinted windows. The kind of car that makes witnesses forget what they saw. Ma'am, what happened? The nurse reaches for Luca's wrist, fingers searching for a pulse. Neria's uniform clings to her skin. White cotton stained rust brown at the sleeves. Not her blood. His blood. From earlier. From the things she had to do. Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. He's not breathing right. Neria gasps. Please, you have to. The doors explode, open behind her. Adriano Valeni fills the entrance like a storm given human form. 6'3". Tattoos crawling up his neck, snakes and crosses, and words in Italian she taught herself to read. His briefcase hits the floor. His eyes, dark, wild, nothing like the cold calculation she's seen for 3 years, lock onto the wheelbarrow. You. The word comes out like gravel scraping bone. What did you do to my son? 2 security guards appear. One reaches for his radio. The other steps between Adriano and Neria, hand hovering near his belt. Sir, you need to... Adriano doesn't look at him, doesn't blink, doesn't breathe. He stares at Neria like she just tore his world in half. And maybe she did, because 12 hours ago, Luca was locked in that basement room. The one with soundproof walls. The one where Dr. Reeves did his corrective therapy while the staff pretended not to hear the screaming. 12 hours ago, Neria was just the maid who kept her head down and her mouth shut. Now she's the woman who stole a dying child from the most dangerous man in New York. The nurse wheels Luca toward the trauma bay. Alarms shriek. Someone shouts for a doctor. Adriano moves forward, but the guard hand lands on his chest. Sir, let them work. Adriano's jaw tightens. His fist clenches. For 3 seconds, Neria thinks he might kill everyone in this hallway just to reach his son. Instead, he turns to her, steps closer. So close she can smell expensive cologne mixed with rain and rage. If he dies, Adriano whispers, voice shaking, you die screaming. Neria meets his eyes, doesn't flinch. If I hadn't brought him here, she says quietly, he'd already be dead. The trauma bay doors slam shut. Red lights flash above them. Code blue. Code blue. Pediatric trauma. Adriano stares at those doors like they're the gates of hell. And Neria realizes something that makes her stomach drop. He didn't know. The most feared man in the city. The one who built an empire on knowing everything. Had no idea what was happening to his own son. Would you risk everything for a child the world had already given up on? Drop a comment if your answer is yes. 3 years earlier. The Valeni estate sits in Westchester like a crown made of marble and mistakes. Neria stands in the service entrance, suitcase at her feet, staring at iron gates that could stop a tank. Beyond them, the mansion glows, every window lit, like someone's afraid of what darkness might reveal. You sure about this? The taxi driver leans out his window. That's the Valeni place. You know who lives there, right? Neria, hand him cash. I know. She doesn't mention the eviction notice, or the nursing school loans that swallowed her savings, or the clinic job she lost when the owner got arrested for insurance fraud, guilty by association, unemployable overnight. Desperate people don't get to be picky. The gates buzz open. She walks the long driveway alone, gravel crunching under her shoes. Cameras track her movement. Somewhere, men with guns are watching. She keeps her spine straight, chin up. Fear is expensive. She can't afford it. The head maid, Mrs. Chun, meets her at the staff door. 60, gray hair pulled tight, eyes that see too much and say nothing. You're late. Traffic. Neria follows her inside. The mansion swallows sound. Thick carpets. High ceilings. The kind of silence that comes from people trained not to exist unless summoned. Mrs. Chen's shoes whisper against marble. Everything here whispers. Shouts would crack the expensive veneer. Your duties: clean the east wing, laundry, serve meals when cook needs help. You don't speak to Mr. Valeni unless spoken to. You don't ask questions. You don't repeat what you hear. Mrs. Chun stops at a narrow hallway, and you stay away from the boy. Neria's pulse stutters. What boy? The son. Luca. He's... Mrs. Chin's mouth tightens. Difficult. Best you pretend he doesn't exist. Before Neria can respond, a sound cuts through the silence. High-pitched, rhythmic, not quite a scream. More like someone humming the same 3 notes over and over and over. What's that? Nothing. Mrs. Chun walks faster. That's nothing. But it's not nothing. Neria hears it again that night while folding sheets in the laundry room. And again at dawn, drifting through air vents. A child's voice, trapped in a loop, singing to walls that don't answer. She finds him on her 4th day. The east wing has a room at the end, door always closed, no light underneath. Neria isn't supposed to clean there. Mrs. Chun made that clear. But when she passes with fresh linens, she sees it. The door, cracked open just an inch. Inside, a boy sits on the floor, building something with wooden blocks. 8 years old, maybe. Pale skin, dark curly hair, red shirt button wrong. He doesn't look up when she peeks in. Doesn't stop humming. The blocks form a pattern. Perfect geometric shapes, stacked and res-tacked in the exact same order. He builds it, knocks it down, builds it again. His hands move fast, precise, like he's done this 10,000 times. Neria watches for 30 seconds before she notices. Bruises. Small ones, finger-shaped, circling his thin wrists. Her stomach goes cold. Luca, she says softly. He freezes, hands hovering over the blocks. His breathing speeds up, short, panic gasps like someone drowning in air. He rocks forward, back. Hey, it's okay. I'm not going to. Dr. Bad. His voice is flat, mechanical. Dr. Bad, Dr. Bad, Dr. Bad. The words punch through her chest. She knows that voice. Heard it before, years ago, in pediatric psych rotations. Kids who've been hurt so many times they stopped believing in gentle hands. Footsteps echo down the hall. Heavy, expensive shoes on marble. Neria steps back, pulling the door almost closed. Through the crack, she sees him, Adriano Valeni. Tailored suit, cold eyes. He walks past without glancing at his son's room, like the boy is already a ghost. If you've ever seen something wrong and no one would listen, comment I would have spoken up. Let's see who's really paying attention. Dr. Elias Reeves arrives every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Neria learns his schedule the way prisoners learn guard rotations. Survival depends on knowing when danger walks through the door. He's 50, balding, wire-rimmed glasses that make him look like somebody's disappointed grandfather. He carries a leather bag and wears cardigans. Harmless. That's the word people use. Neria hates him on sight. Behavioral correction specialist, Mrs. Chun explains, loading the dishwasher while Reeves disappears into Luca's room. Mr. Valeni hired him after the boy got expelled. Again. Expelled from what? 4 schools. Can't sit still. Won't make eye contact. Throws tantrums. She scrubs a plate hard enough to crack it. The last school said he bit a teacher. Drew blood. Neria pictures the boy with the blocks. The careful, repetitive movements. The way light from the window made him squint and turn away. Has anyone tested him? Mrs. Chin's hands go still. Tested for what? I used to work pediatrics. Those behaviors, the repetition, the light sensitivity, the meltdowns, that's not bad behavior. That's not our business. Mrs. Chin's voice drops to steel. You want to keep this job? Stop asking questions. That night, Neria can't sleep. She lies in her basement room. Concrete walls, single bulb, mattress that smells like bleach, and listens. Around 9 p.m., the screaming starts. It's not loud. Thick walls muffle it to a distant keen, like wind through broken glass. But it's there. Luca's voice, stretching thin, begging in words that dissolve into sobs. She counts. 37 minutes before silence. The next Tuesday, she volunteers to bring Dr. Reeves tea. Very kind, he says, not looking up from his notes. He's in the study adjacent to Luca's room. The door between them is closed, but Neria hears shuffling. Small feet on carpet. Heavy breathing. She sets the tea down, glances at his open notebook. The handwriting is Dr. Terrible, but she catches words. Non-compliance, discipline reinforcement, aversion therapy. Aversion therapy. Her blood turns to ice water. Is that all? Reeves asks, finally looking at her. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. Yes, sir. She walks away slowly, turns the corner, then presses herself against the wall, listening. Through the door, she hears Reeves's voice, calm and clinical. Luca, we've discussed this. When you behave incorrectly, there are consequences. A whimper. No. Hold out your hands. The sound that follows, sharp, quick, like a ruler hitting skin, makes Neria's vision blur red. She's back in the clinic, watching a mother cry because her son kept hurting himself, banging his head against walls, and nobody understood why. Watching doctors prescribe sedatives instead of sensory evaluations. Watching a system fail children because the adults couldn't be bothered to listen. Luca isn't broken. He's being broken. That night, Neria searches her phone until 3 a.m. Autism spectrum disorder. Sensory processing. Applied behavior analysis. The good kind, the kind that helps, not hurts. She reads testimonials from parents whose kids thrived once someone actually understood them. Then she reads the horror stories. Abusive therapies disguised as treatment. Compliance training that destroyed spirits. Children taught to ignore their own pain to make adults comfortable. Luca whispers Dr. Bad because Dr. Reeves is bad. And everyone knows. They just don't care. The next morning, Neria finds Luca under the dining room table, knees pulled to his chest, hands clamped over his ears. The garters are using leaf blowers outside. The sound roars through the walls. She crouches low, doesn't touch him, doesn't demand eye contact. Hey, she says softly, that noise is really loud, huh? His rocking slows. Just a fraction. Want me to close the windows? He doesn't answer, but when she stands and shuts every window in the room, his breathing evens out. After 5 minutes, he crawls out, doesn't look at her, just picks up his blocks from the corner and starts building. Perfect geometric patterns. Order and chaos. Neria watches him, sees the bruises on his knuckles now. Fresh ones. Dr. Bad, Luca whispers, stacking blocks with shaking hands. Yeah, Neria says quietly. Dr. Bad, would you stay silent to keep your job, or speak up for what's right? Tell me in the comments. I need to know who I'm talking to. Adriano Valeni comes home at midnight. Neria hears the front door slam from 2 floors up, a sound like a judge's gavel. She's folding towels in the linen closet when footsteps echo down the hall. Fussed, angry. Where is he? Mrs. Chen's voice, tight with fear. In his room, Mr. Valeni. He's been quiet tonight. Quiet. Adriano laughs, sharp and bitter. The principal called. Again, said Luca attacked another student. Bit him. Drew blood. Neria's hand still on the towel. Dr. Reeves assures me the therapy is working, Mrs. Chun says carefully. It just takes time. Time. Adriano's voice drops to something cold and lethal. I'm paying that man $10,000 a month to fix my son. And today I get a call saying the school won't take him back. That he's a danger to other children. Silence. Heavy as a hell breath. Get him. Now. Neria moves without thinking. Drops the towels. Slips out of the closet and down the hall toward Luca's room. She doesn't have a plan. Doesn't know what she'll do. But she knows that tone. That rage looking for a target. Luca's door is already open. Mrs. Chun stands in the doorway, hands clasped. Luca, sweetie, your father wants to see you. The boy doesn't move. He's at his desk, drawing with crayons. The same picture he always draws, a house with a red door. A stick figure inside. Bars on the windows. Luca. Mrs. Chen's voice sharpens. Now. He sets down the crayon. Stands slowly. His whole body trembles. Neria watches him walk out like a prisoner toward execution. She follows. Stays in the shadows. Sees Adriano in his study. Desk wide as a boat. Windows overlooking gardens his son never plays in. He doesn't sit. Stand with his back to the door, pouring whiskey with hands that shake. Luca enters. Stops 3 feet inside. Won't look up. Do you know what you did today? Adriano asks without turning. No answer. I asked you a question. Adriano spins, and the movement makes Luca flinch. What is wrong with you? The boy's hands flap at his sides, quick, desperate movements. His mouth opens, closes. No words come. Answer me. Adriano's fist slams the desk. The sound cracks through the room like a gunshot. Luca drops to his knees, hands over his ears, a high keening sound tearing from his throat. And Nerea steps into the doorway. Stop. In a locker room, she opens her assigned locker. Inside, her street clothes, a battered backpack, and a locked metal box the size of a shoebox. She pulls the box out, enters the combination, her mother's birthday backwards, same as Marcus used, and lifts the lid. Inside the box, a forged invitation to Friday's game, printed on the same cardstock Silvio's people use. She paid a counterfeiter $2,000 for it. Money she saved over 3 years, dollar by dollar, skipping meals and selling plasma twice a month. $500,000 in cashier's checks, arranged through an anonymous LLC she created using Marcus's encryption software. The money isn't real. It's a digital shell game, layered accounts that look legitimate for exactly 72 hours before collapsing. Long enough to get her in the door. And a micro SD card containing every file Marcus left behind. Blueprints, emails, bank transfers, voice recordings. Evidence that links Silvio Moretti directly to her brother's murder. She closes the box, locks it, slides it back into her locker. 5 days. Her phone buzzes. A text from her supervisor. Table 12 needs clearing. Move it. She pockets the phone and heads back to work. The Lorraine room is empty now, lights dimmed. She pushes a cleaning cart inside, moving methodically through her routine. Wipe down surfaces. Collect abandoned glasses. Vacuum the carpet. When she reaches Silvio's chair, she pauses. There's a smudge on the armrest. Ash from a cigar. She wipes it clean, then checks the seam where she planted the jammer. It's gone. Silvio must have found it when he got home, or his security swept the jacket. Either way, he knows someone interfered tonight. Good. Let him wonder. Let him second-guess. Let him feel the discomfort of not being in control. She finishes cleaning and pushes the cart back into the corridor. As she passes the elevator, it opens. A man steps out, tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a dark suit and an earpiece. One of Silvio's guards. He glances at her. You work this floor? Yes, sir. Anybody been in the poker room tonight? Besides the players? Just me, sir. Cleaning. His eyes narrow. You see anything unusual? No, sir. Just cards and glasses. He studies her for 5 long seconds. She keeps her face blank, hands folded over the card handle. Finally, he nods. Keep it that way. The elevator doors close. He's gone. Naomi exhales slowly. Her heart pounds, but her hand stays steady. They're looking, which means Silvio's suspects sabotage, which means he'll be watching closer at the next game. She'll have to be perfect. She returns the cleaning cart to storage, clocks out, and takes the service exit into the alley. Chicago's night air is cold, sharp. Streetlights flicker. A siren wails somewhere distant. She walks 3 blocks to the bus stop, sits on the bench, and waits. Around her, the city hums. Cars passing, a couple arguing in Spanish outside a bodega, a homeless man pushing a cart full of cans. Nobody notices her. Nobody ever does. The bus arrives. She climbs on, pays her fare, takes a seat in the back. Through the window, Chicago slides past. Neon signs, empty storefronts, the distant glow of downtown towers. She grew up here, learned to navigate its streets, its systems, its unspoken rules about who matters and who doesn't. She matters now, even if nobody knows it yet. The bus stops near her apartment, a studio in Pilsen, 4th floor walk-up, rent paid in cash every month. She climbs the stairs, unlocks 3 deadbolts, and steps inside. The apartment is small, clean. A mattress on the floor, a folding table, 2 chairs. No photos, no decorations. Just books, mathematics, psychology, game theory, and a laptop she keeps encrypted. She sits at the table, opens the laptop, and pulls up the file marked Marcus Final. Inside, a video her brother recorded 2 days before he died. She's watched it 100 times. She watches it again now. Marcus's face fills the screen, tired eyes, nervous smile. Hey, Nay, if you're seeing this, I'm probably gone. And I'm sorry. I got in over my head. He explains the device, the client, the offshore payments. His voice shakes when he talks about the threats. Anonymous calls, men following him, a warning carved in his car hood. Stop asking questions. I try to back out, Marcus says. Told them I wanted nothing to do with it. But they said I knew too much, that I was a liability. His eyes go wet. I should have listened to you. You were right. It was always going to end bad. The video cuts to black. Then his voice, quieter now. There's one more thing. The client's name. I recorded a phone call. It's on the same drive. Timestamp 11:47 p.m., March 3rd. His voice. His name. Everything. The video ends. Naomi closes the laptop. She knows the client's name. She's known it for 3 years. Silvio Moretti. She lies down on the mattress, staring at the ceiling. Sleep won't come easy. It never does the week before mission. But she doesn't need sleep. She needs precision. Focus. The cold, calculated patience of someone who's spent years planning the perfect move. 5 days until the game. 5 days until she sits across from the man who killed her brother. 5 days until she makes him pay. Can someone invisible for so long suddenly become unforgettable? The signal jammer activates at 9:47 p.m. Naomi holds it in her apron pocket, thumb pressed against the button, counting seconds. Around her, the Lorraine room glows gold. Chandeliers blazing, champagne flowing, 8 men in tailored suits settling into their chairs. Silvio sits at the head of the table. New cufflinks tonight. Platinum, not jade. He's switched devices, just like she predicted. But the frequency range is the same. She tested it an hour ago when she accidentally brushed past him while setting up the bar. The jammer hums, silent and invisible. Across the room, Silvio's cufflinks go dark. He doesn't notice yet. He's too busy laughing at something the banker said, cigar smoke curling around his face. His security guard stands by the elevator, arms crossed. Another guard by the door. A third near the bar. Naomi pours water into crystal glasses, moving like a shadow. Her heart beats steady. Her hands don't shake. She's done this 100 times in her mind. Rehearsed every step, every contingency. Tonight isn't about revenge. Not yet. Tonight is about watching him unravel. The dealer shuffles. Cards snap against the table. Bets are placed, thousands of dollars tossed in like pocket change. Silvio glances at his hand. His thumb taps twice against his ring finger, waiting for the signal. Nothing. His smile falters. Just a flicker. He taps again. Still nothing. He shifts in his chair, eyes flicking to the dealer, then back to his cards. The other players don't notice. They're focused on their hands, calculating odds, reading faces. Naomi refills the ice bucket. Watches. Silvio bets. Conservative. Cautious. The senator raises. The Hollywood producer calls. The hand plays out. Silvio loses. Not a big pot, but enough that his jaw tightens. Next hand. Same thing. His cufflinks stay dark. He bets blind, relying on instinct instead of data. Loses again. The room's energy shifts. Subtle, like air pressure before a storm. The other players sit straighter. Bet bolder. The producer grins. The banker leans forward. For the first time in 3 years, Silvio Moretti looks uncertain. Naomi moves to the bar, pouring bourbon into a fresh glass. She can feel the guard's eyes on her. The one by the elevator, the tall one with the scar above his eyebrow. He's been watching her all night. She doesn't react, doesn't hurry, just pours the drink, sets it on a tray, and carries it to Silvio's side. Your bourbon, sir. He doesn't look at her, doesn't say thank you, just grabs a glass and drains half of it in one gulp. She steps back, waits. Another hand, another loss. Silvio slams his glass down. Deal faster. The dealer nods, hands moving quicker. Cards blur across the velvet. Silvio checks his cufflinks, taps them, shakes his wrist like the device is broken. It is. just not the way he thinks. The jammer works perfectly. Naomi built it to disrupt signals without triggering detection software. To Silvio, it looks like a malfunction. Bad luck. Technology failing at the worst possible moment. He'll blame the manufacturer, the designer, anyone but himself. Men like him always do. The game continues. 30 minutes pass. An hour. Silvio's chip stack shrinks. His breathing gets faster. Sweat beads on his forehead despite the room's cool air. The guard by the elevator shifts, hand moving toward his earpiece. Naomi catches the motion. He's about to call someone, maybe Silvio's tech guy, maybe another guard. She can't let that happen. She crosses to the bar, picks up a champagne bottle, and walks toward the guard. "Excuse me, sir. Refill." He glances at her, annoyed. "I don't drink on duty." "Of course. My mistake." She turns, deliberately stumbling. The bottle slips from her hands. It doesn't shatter. She catches it at the last second, but the guard's attention snaps to her, hand dropping from his earpiece. "Sorry," she says quietly. Long shift. He grunts, turning back to the room. Crisis averted. For now. She returns to the wall, bottle in hand, and watches Silvio lose another pot. His hands are shaking now. Not much, but enough that the cards tremble when he picks them up. The producer notices. "You feeling okay, Don Moretti?" "Fine." Silvio's voice is ice. "Deal." But he's not fine. Naomi can see it in the way he grips his cigar too tight, the way his knee bounces under the table. He's used to control, certainty, knowing the outcome before the cards are even dealt. Without his device, he's just another gambler. And gambling means losing. The dealer calls the next round. Bets climb higher. Silvio goes all in, reckless, desperate. The senator calls. They flip. Silvio, pair of tens. Senator, straight flush. The room goes silent. Silvio stares at the cards like they betrayed him. His face drains of color. For 5 full seconds, nobody speaks. Then he laughs. Sharp, bitter. Well played. But his eyes don't laugh. They calculate. Scan the room. Land on Naomi for half a second before moving on. She keeps her face blank. Pours more water. Invisible. The game breaks. Players stand, stretch, head to the bar for drinks. Silvio stays seated, staring at the empty space in front of him. The guard with the scar approaches. "Boss, you want me to?" "No." Silvio cuts him off. "I'm fine. Just a bad night." "You sure? We could check the equipment." I said I'm fine. The guard backs off, but his hand stays near his earpiece. Naomi moves along the wall, collecting empty glasses. Her pulse stays steady, her breathing controlled. She's trained for this, the scrutiny, the suspicion, the moment when someone starts asking questions. She just needs to stay invisible a little longer. The game resumes. New dealer. Fresh deck. Silvio buys back in, stacking chips with hands that don't quite steady. 20 minutes later, he loses again. This time he stands, buttons his jacket. "I'm done." The players exchange glances. Nobody argues. Nobody asks him to stay. He walks toward the elevator, guards flanking him. As he passes Naomi, he stops, turns, looks directly at her. "You," he says. Her stomach drops, but her face stays calm. "Yes, sir. You've been working this room a long time, haven't you?" 3 years, sir. You see a lot. It's not a question. It's a statement. A test. I see what I'm supposed to see, sir. Glasses. Bottles. Ashtrays. His eyes narrow. He's trying to read her. Trying to figure out if she's lying. She meets his gaze. Holds it. Doesn't blink. After 10 seconds, the longest 10 seconds of her life, he nods. "Good. Keep it that way." He steps into the elevator. The doors close. Naomi exhales slowly. Her hands tremble now, just slightly, but she steadies them. Finishes collecting glasses. Wipes down the table. The other players linger, talking in low voices about Silvio's losses, his strange behavior, the way his luck evaporated. None of them suspect sabotage. They just think he had a bad night. Perfect. She pushes the cleaning cart into the corridor, past the guards, into the service elevator. The doors close. She's alone. Her phone buzzes. A text from the encrypted number. Friday's game's still on. Silvio wants revenge. High stakes. Be ready. She deletes the message. 5 days turned into 5 minutes. Everything's accelerating now. She rides the elevator down, exits through the service door, walks 3 blocks to the bus stop. The city is loud tonight. Sirens, voices, music bleeding from open bar doors. She sits on the bench. Waits. A man in a business suit sits beside her. Older. Tired looking. He glances at her uniform. Rough shift. Always, she says. He nods. I know the feeling. The bus arrives. She climbs on. Take her usual seat in the back. Through the window, Chicago blurs past. Neon. Concrete. Shadows. Somewhere in this city, Silvio Moretti is tearing apart his cufflinks, demanding answers, blaming his tech team for a malfunction that never existed. Somewhere, her brother's killer is scared. And Naomi? Naomi is just getting started. What happens when the invisible become unavoidable? The invitation sits on Naomi's folding table, crisp and white, embossed with gold lettering. You are cordially invited to an exclusive private tournament. Friday, November 8th, 10 p.m. La Reine Room. Buy-in, $500,000. She runs her finger along the edge. The counterfeiter did good work, watermark, texture weight. Identical to the real ones Silvio's people send to Wall Street executives and European diplomats. 3 days until the game. 72 hours until she sits across from him. 72 hours to make sure every detail is perfect. She opens her laptop, pulls up the spreadsheet she's been building for 3 years. Every poker game Silvio's hosted. Every player. Every outcome. Patterns emerge in the data. He favors aggressive opening bets, bluffs on river cards when his chip stack is high, folds early when he's losing. But those patterns assume his device works. Without it, he's unpredictable, emotional, dangerous. She'll have to adapt in real time. Her phone buzzes. A text from the hotel supervisor. Need you for day, shift tomorrow. Someone called in sick. She types back, can't. Doctor's appointment. A lie, but necessary. She needs tomorrow to finalize everything. Test the jammer one more time, verify the cashier's checks, rehearse her cover story until it's flawless. The supervisor replies, fine, but you're on night shift Sunday. She doesn't respond. By Sunday, she'll either be dead or disappeared. Either way, she won't be mopping floors. She closes the laptop and stands, stretching. Her apartment is dark except for the glow from a single lamp. Outside, sirens wail. A dog barks. Someone's playing music too loud, bass thumping through the walls. She ignores it, walks to the window, looks out at Chicago's skyline. Lights scattered like diamonds against black velvet. Marcus used to say the city looked like a circuit board at night. All those lights, he'd said once, sitting on this same windowsill. They're just signals, information flowing. You just gotta know how to read it. She wishes he was here now. Wishes she could ask him what to do if the game goes wrong. If Silvio suspects her. If the guards close in before she can make her move. But Marcus is gone. And she's alone. Always alone. She turns from the window, sits back at the table, and opens a notebook. Inside, handwritten notes from every game she's observed. Player tendencies. Betting patterns. Micro-expressions. She flips to a blank page and writes, Friday, final variables. Silvio will be cautious. He knows something disrupted his device. He'll test the room, sweep for jamming equipment, maybe bring a backup. The guards will watch everyone, including her. The other players won't know she's not supposed to be there. But if someone recognizes her as staff, the game ends before it starts. She'll need a story. A reason why a high-stakes investor nobody's heard of is suddenly sitting at Silvio's table. She writes, Cover identity, Kendra Lattimore. Private equity, based in Miami. New money, tech sector buyouts. Aggressive player. Reputation for risk. It's thin, but it'll hold for one night. Just long enough. Her phone buzzes again. Different number this time. Unknown. She stares at the screen. Lets it ring twice. 3 times. Answers. Yes. Silence. Then a man's voice, smooth and cold. You dropped something. Her blood freezes. Excuse me. At the hotel. Last week. In the poker room. She doesn't breathe. Doesn't move. The voice continues. Small device. Black metal. Found it in a jacket lining. Curious thing. Very specialized frequency range. Silvio. She closes her eyes. Ting's fussed. I don't know what you're talking about. No. He sounds amused. Then maybe you can explain why my equipment malfunctioned the exact same night someone planted a jammer in my coat. I clean rooms. I don't know anything about equipment. Right. The maid. He pauses. She hears him exhale, cigar smoke, probably. You've been working my games for 3 years. Never caused problems. Never asked questions. So either you're the smartest person in that building or the dumbest. I just do my job. Your job. Another pause. What's your name? She hesitates. Giving him nothing might raise more suspicion than giving him something. Naomi. Naomi. He rolls it around like he's tasting it. Last name. Clairvaux. The silence that follows lasts exactly 7 seconds. She counts them. When he speaks again, his voice has changed. Sharper. Colder. Clairvaux. Yes. Interesting name. French. Haitian. Another pause. You have family, Naomi Clairvaux. Her throat tightens. Not anymore. Not anymore. He's connecting dots now. She can hear it in his tone. The gears turning, the memories surfacing. Had a brother. Maybe. Smart guy. Tech sector. She doesn't answer. Marcus Clairvaux. He says it slowly, deliberately. Software engineer. Freelance work. Disappeared about 3 years ago. Tragic accident, they said. Drove his car into the river. Her hand grips the phone, so heart hurts. So here's my question, Naomi. His voice drops to a whisper. Did you really think I wouldn't figure it out? She closes her eyes. Every instinct screams to hang up. Run. Disappear before his guards kick down her door. But running won't finish this. I don't know what you're talking about, she says quietly. He laughs. Actually laughs. You're good. I'll give you that. 3 years playing invisible. 3 years waiting. That takes patience. I'm just a maid. No, you're not. The amusement drains from his voice. You're the sister, and you want revenge. She doesn't confirm. Doesn't deny. Here's what's going to happen. Silvio continues. You're going to forget whatever vendetta you're nursing. You're going to keep cleaning my rooms and staying silent. And in exchange, I won't have my people visit your apartment tonight. She glances at the window. The street below is dark. Empty. Or is it? Are you listening, Naomi? Yes. Good. He pauses. Because if you ever try something like that jammer again, I won't make it quick. I'll make it a lesson. Understand? Her jaw clenches. Yes. Excellent. He sounds pleased now. Satisfied. Oh, and one more thing. There's a private game Friday night. I assume you've heard about it. Her pulse hammers. I work Friday nights. Not this Friday. Take the night off. In fact, take the whole weekend. Paid leave. Consider it a gift. He's banning her from the building. Cutting off her access. That's generous, she manages. I'm a generous man. To people who know their place. He pauses. Do you know your place, Naomi? Every muscle in her body screams defiance. But her voice stays calm. Obedient. Yes, sir. Good girl. The line goes dead. She sits motionless. Phone still pressed to her ear. Mind racing through scenarios. He knows who she is. Knows about Marcus. Knows she planted the jammer. But he doesn't know about the invitation. The fake credentials. The plan for Friday. He thinks he's won. Thinks scaring her will be enough. Men like Silvio always underestimate women like her. She sets the phone down. Opens her laptop. Pulls up the file marked contingency, if compromised. Inside, a backup plan. Riskier. More dangerous. But still possible. If Silvio's banned her from the building, she can't walk in as staff. Can't use her usual access points. But she can walk in as a player. She just has to make sure nobody recognizes her. She opens a new browser window. Types, theatrical makeup supplier Chicago. 43 results. She clicks the first one. Scrolls through wigs, prosthetics, color-correcting foundations. Adds items to a cart. Auburn wig, contact lenses, hazel, contouring kit, liquid latex for reshaping her nose. Total, $847. She uses a prepaid credit card. Ships everything to a P.O. box 3 blocks away. Express delivery. Arrives Thursday. Next, wardrobe. She needs something that screams money but doesn't look try-hard. Designer but not flashy. She searches Designer Consignment Chicago. Finds a shop in River North. Open until 8 p.m. tomorrow. She screenshots the address. Last item, the cashier's checks. She logs into the anonymous LLC account she created using Marcus's encryption. 500,000 in layered transactions. The shell company looks legitimate. Incorporation papers, tax ID, business license. It'll hold up under basic scrutiny. But if Silvio's people dig deep, they'll find the holes. She has 72 hours before that happens. 72 hours to get in, beat him, expose him, and disappear before the whole thing collapses. She closes the laptop, checks her phone. No new messages. Outside, the city hums. A car alarm goes off. Someone shouts in Spanish. The bass from a neighbor's music thumps steady, relentless. She walks to the window again, looks down at the street. A black sedan is parked at the corner. Engine running, windows tinted. Her stomach drops. She watches for 5 minutes. The car doesn't move, doesn't turn off, just sits there idling. Silvio's people, watching, making sure she got the message. She steps back from the window, turns off the lamp, sits in darkness. Her phone buzzes. A text from the encrypted number. Game still on. Player list finalized. 10 seats. Silvio confirmed. She reads it twice. Deletes it. 10 seats. Which means she's one of 10. Which means someone on that list isn't who they claim to be. Could be an undercover cop. Could be a rival family planning a mole. Could be another person like her. Someone with a score to settle. Or maybe everyone's exactly who they say they are. And she's the only imposter. She won't know until she sits down. She lies on the mattress, staring at the ceiling. Sleep won't come. It never does before something big. So she runs through the plan again, step by step. Every detail. Thursday, pick up makeup, buy the dress, test the disguise. Friday, transform, arrive at 9:45 p.m., walking like she belongs. Sit down, play, win. And when Silvio realizes who she is, when he sees past the wig and the makeup and the fake name, she'll already have him trapped. Because this isn't just about poker. It's about the camera hidden in her necklace, the microphone sewn into her sleeve, the evidence she's been collecting for 3 years, waiting for the perfect moment to deploy. Marcus taught her that the best revenge isn't violence. It's exposure. She closes her eyes, breathes slow. Outside, the black sedan's engine finally cuts off. But she knows they're still watching. Let them watch. In 72 hours, they'll have nothing left to guard. When a hunter realizes the prey has teeth, who ends up in the trap? The wig itches. Naomi adjusts it in the bathroom mirror. Auburn curls framing a face she barely recognizes. Azed contact. Darker foundation. Prosthetic bridge on her nose. Red lipstick she'd never wear. Kendra Lattimore stares back at her. She smooths the emerald dress, silk, designer label, bought for $300 at the consignment shop. Diamond earrings. Fake but convincing. Heels that add 3 inches. Her phone shows 9:38 p.m. 7 minutes. She picks up the briefcase containing the cashier's checks. Her invitation. And a necklace with the hidden camera already recording. The black sedan is gone from her street. But that doesn't mean they stopped watching. She takes the back stairs. Exits through the alley. Hails a cab 2 blocks away. Belmont Grand Hotel, she tells the driver. He nods, pulls into traffic. Chicago blurs past. Neon signs, pedestrians, cars honking. Her reflection flickers in the window. A stranger's face. Good. The cab stops outside the hotel's main entrance. She pays cash. Steps onto the marble walkway in heels that click like gunshots. Inside, the lobby glows gold. Chandeliers. Velvet couches. A pianist playing something soft in the corner. She walks past the front desk toward the private elevator. The one that requires a key card. A security guard stands beside it. Young. Bored looking. Invitation, he says. She hands it over. He scans it with a handheld device. The light turns green. 10th floor. Service elevators around the corner. Thank you. She steps inside. The doors close. Her reflection multiplies in the mirrored walls. 5 now, miss. 5 Kendras. all wearing masks. The elevator descends. Lucas stares at the offered hand, thinks, then slowly, carefully places his small palm on top. Adriano's eyes go wet. He blinks hard, but tears spill anyway. "I'm sorry," he whispers. "For everything. For not listening. For letting that doctor hurt you. For not seeing you." Luca tilts his head. "You see me now?" "Yeah, I see you now." They sit like that, hand on hand, while morning light paints gold across the table. Neria looks away, throat tight. Some moments aren't hers to witness. Later, Adriano finds her in the hallway. He's holding an envelope. Thick, heavy. "This is for you." Neria doesn't take it. "I don't want your money. It's not payment. It's—" He struggles for words. "Security. A house. Wherever you want. New identity if you need it. After last night, staying here isn't safe for you. And Luca, I'm moving him. Different location. More guards. People who owe me blood debts." His jaw sets. He'll be protected. By the same world that just tried to kill him. By his father, who finally understands what protection actually means. They stand in loaded silence. Outside, a car pulls up. Neria recognizes it. The social worker, Keisha Morrison, back for follow-up. "You should go talk to her," Neria says. "Show her what you show me today." Adriano nods, turns to leave, stops. "You didn't just save my son," he says without looking back. "You saved me from becoming the kind of man who destroys what he loves because he's too proud to admit he's wrong." He walks away before she can respond. Neria watches him greet Keisha at the door, watches him gesture her inside, watches him do what 6 months ago would have been impossible. Let someone scrutinize his life without threatening them. That afternoon, Luca comes looking for her, finds her packing her small bag in the basement room. "You leave." His voice is small, scared. "For a little while. Your dad's going to take you somewhere safer. Without you." Neria crouches down, looks him in the eyes. He lets her now, sometimes when he's ready. "You don't need me to be safe anymore. You have your dad, the real one, who sees you. But you saved me. No, Budhi, you saved yourself by being exactly who you are until someone finally paid attention." She touches his shoulder gently. "I just help translate." He processes this, then hugs her quick, tight, gone before she can hug back. His way. "Thank you, Neria." She watches him climb the stairs, watches him go back to his father, who's waiting at the top, who meets her eyes over his son's head and nods once. Respect. Gratitude. Goodbye. Neria finishes packing, takes the envelope, walks out the service in trance one last time. The world outside feels bigger, emptier, but also hers again. She did the impossible, stood up to power, won, and walked away alive. If that moment hit different, share this story. Someone needs to know that courage whispers before it roars. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. 2 years later, the community center buzzes with voices. Parents, kids, advocates. Blue and gold balloons. Autism awareness colors. Bob against the ceiling. A banner reads, "See different, think different, be different." Neria stands near the back, sipping lukewarm coffee, watching the crowd. She works here now, coordinator for family services, helping parents navigate diagnosis, therapy, resources, using everything she learned the hard way. On stage, a boy adjusts his microphone. 10 years old now. Taller. Red shirt pressed neat. Glasses clean. He doesn't make eye contact with the audience, but he doesn't need to. Lucas speaks into the mic. "My name is Luca Valeni. I am autistic. That means my brain works different. Not broken. Different." The crowd applauds. He flinches at the noise, but keeps going. "Someone once told me I needed fixing, but another person said I just needed understanding." She was right. Neria's eyes burn. Luca continues. "If you're different like me, you're not alone. And if you love someone who's different, don't try to change them. Just see them." More applause. Louder now. He steps back, done. His part of the panel finished. Neria watches him walk off stage into waiting arms. Not a handler. Not a guard. His father. Adriano Valeni looks different too. No designer suit. Just jeans and a button-down. Hair graying at the temples. The tattoos still crawl his neck, but somehow they seem less threatening now. Just art on a man who survived himself. He says something to Luca. The boy nods. They walk toward the exit together, not fleeing, just leaving before the crowd gets overwhelming. That's when Adriano sees her. He stops. Their eyes meet across the room. He doesn't smile. Neither does she. He just places his hand on his heart. Taps twice. Thank you. She nods. You're welcome. Then they're gone. Disappeared into the parking lot. Into a life Neria is no longer part of but helped build. A woman approaches. Young mom, baby on her hip, older son hiding behind her legs. Excuse me, are you Neria Knox? Yes. They said you might be able to help. My son just got diagnosed, and I don't know where to start. Everyone keeps telling me what's wrong with him, but nobody's telling me how to help him be himself. Neria looks at the boy. He's stimming, flapping his hands, rocking slightly. His mother holds him close, protective, scared. I can help, Neria says. Let's sit down and talk. As they walk to her office, Neria glances back at the stage, at the banner, at all the families learning that different isn't less. She didn't just save one child. She started a revolution. Quiet, patient, one conversation at a time. Because real change doesn't announce itself. It translates pain into understanding, fear into acceptance, silence into voices finally heard. And sometimes, just sometimes, a maid becomes the person who rewrites the rules. Not with power, with presence. She didn't just save a child. She rewired a man's soul and proved that the bravest thing you can do is see someone when the whole world has looked away. If this story moved you, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on notifications so you never miss stories that prove courage doesn't need permission. It just needs one person willing to act. Drop a comment below about a time you stood up when everyone else stayed silent. Your story might inspire someone who needs it today. Share this video with someone who fights quiet battles. Let them know they're not alone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring. And thank you for being the kind of person who believes one voice can change everything.